Hello everyone, Epic Sonar Man here. Yes, we are finally back. After literally more than half a year since we get any episode whatsoever, we finally got the first pilot episode from Void Storm, and I'll say it right now, it was hands down the best thing Virlance'S has released yet. The quality is just insane. It almost felt like we were watching a damn movie or something. And today we are going to analyze every single detail, and I can tell this video will be my longest so far. But before we start, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, I know you have noticed my different appearance. Well, just the colors. It's because I decided to change the old style a bit, because of the fact we are starting a new era of analyzing a new series. Let's leave that old appearance in the past with Skibidi Wars, and this one fire up. Also yay, I know you guys are thirsty to know what is up with Skibidi Wars. Well, I don't have the answer right now, but I will give my opinions of it by the end of this analysis. So let's start, shall we? So this amazing episode starts in a dream one of the main characters is having. We are in a place that's caught up by fire. And then this POV turns into the window, and we see some sort of void portal approaching. We can see some purple dragons or whatever they are, flying around it, and burning the cities. And out of nowhere some giant weirdo Trigon Mumbo appears from the portal, and explodes the whole place up that the guy dreaming woke up. Also, this guy I just mentioned, he is not just a guy. He is the guy. The one and only, Lance. This guy is literally a cyborg. Half robot and half human. We know he is one of the main characters from the group. Also, I think that dream might have been him before he even became a cyborg, cause at the beginning, we can hear a voice calling Lance, and it sounded like a woman. Maybe his mom, I don't know. Also, we do not know yet who this guy is. So if anyone has an idea who can this dude be, let me know. I honestly think he might be some sort of Void Emperor. But other than that, I cannot tell who he is. But let's continue, shall we? When he wakes up, a date comes from the screen, and it says, February 15th of 1999. So this happens in 1999. And these dates are important because later on more dates will be shown like these. And we can know when stuff happens. But yay, after Lance wakes up and goes with his friend, our dear friend Bob gives him a bag, I suppose of food. Also, let me give a quick description of these two new characters. Rena is the girl of the group, and she is pretty much a normal human, but seems pretty advanced in this technology. And Bob, he is a robot, and is the clown of the group, or at least the funny one from the group who is many times doing something silly. Pretty cool robot. But anyways, after Lance is with the group, Rena starts telling him he looks rough, and she questions, that same dream again? And Lance responds, yes, it's becoming more frequent. It's like whatever that thing was, it's tormenting me. And we see they have a picture of the same behemoth we saw in the dream. So instead of a dream, this might be like a flashback when he was younger, and that emperor thing was watching him ever since. Or I don't know if I am completely wrong. That's just my theory. Also, I don't know how they even have a picture of this guy. No idea if they have seen him before, or they can somehow export a dream into a chip where we can see them, since their technology is that high. But honestly, that sounds a bit stupid, so I'ma just stick with the idea that they already encountered him at some point. But I think this next scene pretty much explains it. Rena tells Lance, that storm unleashed levels of destruction unknown. It changed everything more than it already was, for better or worse. But here is what I think explains it. While she is talking, we can see a document sitting there, and if we read it, here's what it says. Still no pattern to rift opening. Someone is opening them. Category 6. Only seen once, 9 years ago. But if that thing was intelligent, why attack a civilian neighborhood? No other void creature with seeming intelligence. Most behave like animals on Earth. The cores give them special abilities. Of the Guardians, none seem to possess. Abilities are tied to intelligence. Perhaps they are too stupid to understand. And that's all I can see if says. Cause we cannot fully see the whole thing. But based on what we know from what they say later, each category with bigger numbers means the bigger and stronger enemies. And this giant we saw in the dream appeared in the category 6, according to what that folder says, and that's probably why they have pictures of him. But moving on where we left off, while they were talking, Rena puts something in Lance's head to detect if everything is in order. Pretty dope technology. Then, Lance asks if there is any work for them, and Rena responds saying there is no activity requiring Guardian assistance. So if I have to guess, they act as Guardian defenders to the city when it comes to Void Rift spawning. Remember what we know about the categories. We also get mentioned in that time, not many rifts were opening, but that changes seconds later. Well, after 9 hours of them patiently waiting, a device on Rena's suit starts making alert noises, meaning one rift is opening somewhere in the city, and they gotta beat the living crap out of whatever comes out there. But it's a category 2 rift, meaning it should be pretty basic. But later on I start to doubt it was a category 2. Cause the creature that came in the rift didn't look like a category 2. Also, I don't know if this is me, but this kind of reminds me of the show Teen Titans, where they are a group of heroes that are waiting from crime alerts too, and one of them looks like a raven. Maybe it's just me, but I found it a bit similar. But after they start getting ready to fight the void creatures, we get a cool intro for the series. Both the music and the intro were indeed epic. But there is some stuff in this intro we haven't seen yet. At first we see the characters driving to their destination, and on other scenes we can see some humans and robots in the city, and also some kind of orbital drone. I think them along that giant robot also protect the city from the void. Anyways, after they arrive, the rift is still open, meaning something already came out of it, and of course they're going to look for it. And while they look for it, we see a box, and for our surprise, turns out some little void creature was hiding there. Yeah, that obviously wasn't a category 2, but we know he ain't alone. But yes, Mr. Bob heavily takes care of him after scaring him and jumping in his face. Rest in peace, little guy. He really turned you into pieces.
Why don't you take care of that little guy, Bob?
Alright, let me show you guys how it's done.
But hey, after Bob absolutely eliminates little bro, we can see in the background more void creatures coming through the portal. And this is when we finally get some action. Rena and Bob uses their hand weapons to combat the monsters. We can also see Lance using his cyborg abilities, his cool jetpack boots and his dope katana, obliterating everything like a pro. So we see what weapons they use. Lance uses katana and a gun and his jet. Rena uses hand weapons, and Bob as well. I like the giant cannon she uses. Looks fire. And Bob also uses some hand weapons, but he also uses his robot abilities, like shields. He also have a big ass hammer. He is kinda like the tank of the group, Lance the assassin, and Rena just a normal skilled soldier with OP weapons. But after that cool action scene, the fourth character finally appears in our screen, Seline. Apparently right now I think she is in a company and needs to do some kind of speech live on TV. Apparently these companies are the ones who introduced the Sentinels to the world. And Seline is the new top Sentinel. Now what are Sentinels? Well, Sentinels apparently are high-ranked beings that are capable of doing things normal beings can't, and are considered the strongest. As far as we know there are only 12 Sentinels, and Seline is the new rank 1. And she is also a void host, 1 out of 3 in the world. Not sure who are the others, but let's continue with this scene. When we see Seline here, 2 of the employees come to here. One of the employees tells her they will leave in 10 minutes, and that don't forget the lines I gave you. This public appearance is very important for your PR. We want to make sure the whole world loves our new top Sentinel. Seline asks, why do I have to do all these fake scripted appearances all of a sudden? There's no authenticity, this isn't me. And from my point of view, they are using their Sentinels for them to make some dope-ass speech and gain that attention that benefits their company economically. And they have to act with fake scripts instead of being themselves. For me it seems this company loves the idea of taking advantage of them and milking them hard. But that's just my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. Next, the employee tries to convince Seline it's all about her and not the money or the juicy deals. Because guys, doesn't that make sense? It's not about the money. The juicy deals that will benefit you so bad you'll be able to sleep well every night, or anything about that. It's all about Seline. They 100% care about her, and all this work is for her. Right. Oh, give me a damn break. But yay, the employee kinda screwed a bit because she mentioned Celine's mom would have wanted her to carry the company. And she goes into berserk mode, almost blowing up. But she calms down. The employee apologizes and tells her she'll leave her alone for 10 minutes. Also, if you notice Seline, she has a star in her suit. I think that just means she is a special being like I mentioned before. And I mean a Sentinel. Also, she decides to make things her way, because she also thinks that company doesn't give a damn about her or anything, and she escapes from the window. She stops by and starts talking to someone, her mom. She says, I'm not doing things the way they expect. I'm not who they want me to be, but if I'm gonna do this, it has to be my own way. After she says that, she grabs a picture of her mom, and I see her mom also has the star on her. Looking at her picture, she says, I read everything about you, everything about what you did, and what you stood for. It all makes me so proud, and it's what keeps me going. And even if I'm doing it all differently, I just hope I can still make you proud of me, Mom. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. I wish I can talk to you. All I need is a sign. So for me it looks like her mom is dead, and she wants to continue her legacy in her way. That's a W. We still don't know what happened to her. Whether she is dead, missing, nothing confirmed, but probably we'll find out soon. But after that sad scene of Seline, we go back to the others, and they finish off the void creatures, but we see the portal is still open. Lance asks why is it still open. Rena scans it and she tells us, the rift's particle output is surging, something big is passing through, and it's not a category 2. That is weird because when they got the notification, it said category 2, but doesn't look like it. Also Bob thought it was so tough saying whatever comes out of it, it's no match for us. But he completely changes thought after the giant creature comes out of this rift. Also Lance says it could be holding a core. I didn't understand much that part, so I didn't put too much attention to it. But although they were confident enough they were going to beat it, realistically something else the same size came to help, and it's that Titan robot we saw in the trailer. He is called an Apex. Well, my AI voice is for some reason saying it differently, but let's ignore that. While the Apex was fighting whatever this creature is, Seline notices the fight nearby, and decides to help us. Literally knocks down the giant creature in one hit. I literally got impressed on how skilled and powerful this character is. She literally carries this fight and has no difficulty at all. So now we know why she is ranked number 1. She with the help with the Apex managed to defeat this monster. In this fight we see how she blasts his ass to the ground. She starts to aura farm. She shoots it with her hand lasers. Her powers are pretty cool. So far what I've seen of her powers is flying ability, shooting lasers from her hands, and physical strength. And the fact she has no problem of fighting this beast is absolutely crazy. We can see she is also using her strength to battle this monster, and she is also using her skills to outsmart it. Then they both shoot their lasers to each other. But unfortunately we cannot see who wins this one, because seconds after that, the Apex out of nowhere shows up to fight again. Now it's a 2 versus 1. The Megatron starts punching the monster and equips his hand blades, blocks it with one of the blades, and the other one he gives it to Seline to help him. I can't tell if he gave them to her or she grabbed them with gravity powers. I think he gave it to her. Then she goes high up with the blade and aggressively throws it at the monster that completely eliminates him. Even the Apex is impressed on how good is this girl. She is on fire. Even Bob is impressed. Bob asked who is that, and Lance said, must be the new rank 1 Sentinel, a void host, one of only 3 in the world. He explains that she shot through every Guardian rank, overtook Omega in the first place, and became one of the 12 Sentinels. But looks like Lance knows a lot about her. Unlike Bob who didn't know anything. But looks like Rena also knows about her too, because she says she heard rumors she spent all her life locked up in some lab, and became host as a kid. Which I wonder if it's the same place we saw her for the first time earlier, or the lab at the last scene of the episode. But after Rena says that, Lance tells her to not believe everything she hears, and that all we know is that she is special in some way. Which I can tell is true. He also mentions she was supposed to do an introductory interview on TV tonight. Damn, I guess Lance is the most who knows about her. That's neat. Anyways, then Seline asks if they are alright, which jump scares Bob, and acts tough saying they had everything under control. She also asks how does he know her name. Well then Bob was going go say that Lance told him, and he apparently knows everything about you. That is until Lance throws a pistol to his head. That was funny. Bob loves talking too much. Lance tells her he was just telling them a bit on how she is one of the few void hosts in the world, and your quick climb through the ranks. I deeply admire the work of the Sentinels, and aspire to be one myself one day. It's an honor to meet you, but Seline doesn't look like she cares, and she says that a lot of people seem to know a lot about me, at least they think they do, but you don't know anything, or no one does. Which that is interesting because I do want to know who she really is, cause nobody knows who is her. Maybe in a couple more episodes we'll get that answer. But yay, after she kinda humiliates Lance's speech, Bob tells Lance, that was pretty cringe. I love that Bob is a comedian. But here's one of the most interesting parts of the entire episode. Because some random Combine look-alike comes to our screens, and this Combine has orange colors, kinda reminded me of the Emperor from Skibidi Wars. Well, he isn't really a Combine, it's more like a masked agent, but still reminded me of one. We see this weird masked person is spying on them, but I think they're specifically spying on Seline, because that person sends a signal through his helmet, and then we see the appearance of someone we know who it is. And yes, it's the infamous Virlance, the Secret Agent V. Remember in Skibidi Wars there was a Secret Agent V that also had enrolled to the series? Well, looks like it's the same here, and if I'm being honest, this model looks 10 times cooler than the old one. I absolutely love it. I love how he comes with that aura, such a cool character. Love the design and everything. I do wonder what's his role here, because he came extremely suspicious. Because when he is shown, he creates some kind of portal when he arrives, and somehow Seline felt that, as if she is connected to this Agent V. Then he does something with his hand, and Seline starts glowing purple flames. I have no idea what he was doing to her, so I cannot give a clear explanation. But he clearly wants something from her, or maybe related. Seline sees the purple glow where he is at, and she quickly chases to it as fast as possible, and completely shoots that area, causing an explosion, that even Lance chases her to see what's going on. Also, before we see what happens there, Bob touches his reboot button, making him reboot. Another silly scene from this character. So far he is one of my favorite characters. Not just because he is funny and has a good humor, he is also a cool robot. But moving on, after Lance arrives and asks what happened, Seline apologizes and says she felt something. She hasn't felt anything like that before. Then Lance asks if she is okay. She says yeah, and then says she has to go and dips out. So far this scene is the most I'm curious of, because the Secret Agent V clearly is interested in her, and he is also purple. Not sure if that matters, but I think it does. Maybe he is related to her, maybe her father, or someone related, I don't know. I highly doubt he is one of the Void hosts because he wouldn't be that mysterious, so he is probably 100% not. He is something else. Not sure if he is related to the Void because of the fact he is purple. Maybe he is someone related to Seline. I don't know or have no idea. I also did not ask Virlance any questions yet, but maybe when we get more lore I will. Also, I am not sure if I missed any important frames, but I did notice some stuff I forgot to mention from earlier. For example, when we were shown the city, there were some posters in the buildings. One of them says City and Corporation, which I am not sure if that's the company's corporation. No idea what that is. We also see a poster that says, Join the Guardian program, which I'm guessing is what Lance, Rena, and Bob are in, since they are Guardians. But one that got my attention was this one, because it's of a masked person. Literally same masks like the ones the Agent V and his soldier were wearing. I don't know if that's a hint or it's just coincidence, but it got my attention. I guess y'all decide what it means. But then last one I see that got my attention was the GPC poster, which later on we find out it's some sort of laboratory. Also, one thing I also missed was in Lance's room at the beginning, a picture of his parents apparently. Maybe that's why he is so traumatized with that same dream at the beginning of the Category 6. Maybe he lost his parents when that happened, and that's when he also meets his friends like Explain. If that's the case, then it makes so much sense on why he wants to become a Sentinel himself and defeat the Void. But we'll be seeing more lore soon. But yeah, I wanted to explain some stuff I missed. If I missed anything else, let me know. But moving on to where we left off, Rena tells Lance that he could have been killed. He says he is fine. But she says she isn't worried about him. She is worried about her. Don't you think what she just did was suspicious? I don't like the idea of humans wielding the very thing we are trying to destroy. Tech is predictable. People aren't. Yet you trust the Void hosts blindly. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Lance says they are our best shot. Technology only gets us so far. And only a handful of people have ever been able to contain a Void core without losing themselves. Which, by the way, later on we see what this core does. Rena says that you almost make it like tech isn't the reason you're alive, and 75% of him isn't machine. Then invites him to drink at the local place. So now we know Rena doesn't trust the Void hosts like Lance does. Maybe because Lance just wants to end what caused all this. Him being 75% robot. The death of his parents maybe. Who knows? We still don't know what happened, or the story of the others. Then Lance says seeing to Sentinels in one day wasn't on my radar. But wait, to Sentinels? As far as I know we only saw one, and that's Seline. The only one else I can think of is the Apex. I didn't think he was a Sentinel, more like a Titan soldier for bigger enemies. I guess he is also a Sentinel. But Rena says she loves when she gets to see a real Apex up close. And Zeus is a really engineer marvel. But she said a Apex. Kinda sounded like there is more than one of them, if I'm making it sound correct. Also, this Zeus guy apparently is the one who makes them according to what she said. Also, before they leave and scene changes, Bob finally wakes up and follows them to the local drink place. That's when the scene changes to the GPC, which stands for Global Protection Coalition. From what I've seen and understand, this is a lab facility where these people track the Void Rift's categories and send the Sentinels and Guardians to any rift that opens, and it also looks like they are working on some sort of project in here. But when the scene starts, we can see a Void Storm opening, and it's opening literally on top of the GPC, which seconds after, they detect the Void Storm forming, and turns out it's a Category 5. Now, even I got nervous when I heard that, because we clearly see in Lance's dream at the beginning how a Category 6 looks like. And if you tell me, a Category 5 sounds closer to a Category 6, but obviously they are not the same. Also, this guy's name is Nolan Blackwood. He is the head of the project I mentioned, which we can see in the background, that also later gets stolen by the evil. But Nolan here tells his assistant to call the Sentinels and send them to where the Void Storm is. And she tells Nolan it's forming right where they are at. Nolan, not knowing what to do, tells his assistant to deploy all of the facility's defense measures. They will hold off any threat until Sentinels arrive, which doesn't go to plan. It actually goes terrible for them. The GPC combat units are preparing for protection and battle. At first it looks like they got enough protection, but sadly, they should have had a Titan Apex protecting this place, because all of that was absolutely pathetic. We then see the only thing that comes from that Void Storm is only one thing. This weird Emperor look-alike. His name is Dradian. We know he is one of the main villains so far. The GPC reinforcement waits a couple seconds until attack. We see all these explosions and everything, and at some point seemed that they actually killed him. Even the general unit stopped the firing, but unfortunately for them he wasn't dead. He uses his powerful glowing chains to absolutely demolish every single machine gun from the borders of the GPC entrance. Even the general commander had to send his army of hive-hand robots, which, spoiler alert, they did nothing, easily making his entrance super easy. And I will say it right now. So far, this Dradian character is definitely one of my favorites. The design is just, holy cow. The design is insanely crazy. And don't get me started on that aura this guy had the entire time. Genuinely one of my favorites so far. Do I even have to explain what happens in the fight? Every single individual dies. Every single being that was protecting the entrance of the GPC. Cooked. General commander, robots, machine guns. All gone. Only by one person. In short, the Dradian wins the fight and whoever was protecting it is dead. But that is unfortunate for us the good guys, because they actually managed to get inside the facility. But before they kidnapped or kill other workers, Nolan says that everything is gonna be okay because Zeta's been dispatched. She'll be here in any moment. So I'm guessing this Zeta isn't Sentinel. But she never came in time, so I guess he was wrong. Then Workers disappears and this weird woman named Evelyn, who is another alien void creature that works with the Dradian. She tells Nolan they are in a safe place, and that he is looking forward to meet you. That is the Dradian. He also comes with that aura. Evelyn tells Nolan they have been observing him for quite some time now, and they are impressed with the project he has been leading. You possess something your peers lack. Dradian says vision. You see order in the chaos. You and I, we are not so different. And after Dradian says all that, Evelyn tells Nolan he will serve the destiny that awaits this world. As far as what I am seeing, they are trying to use his big brain for their benefit, instead of killing him off. Then the Dradian tells Evelyn to show Nolan the core, which is the same core Lance talks about that only a handful of people have contained a void core without losing themselves. Nolan tells them that the core will destroy his mind and will kill him, but the Dradian tells him that's not what's gonna happen, but his mind will be transcendent, meaning he will be able to see more than above what he should see. His voice changes a bit. He says he can see everything. He asks them what are they, and they answer that they are his new purpose. Dradian says he is the architect of the new world, and he says his name is Dradian. And after that aura farm, they teleport both Nolan and the project out of there. Basically, the episode ends on Dradian making a huge cinematic outro from there. He teleports out of there, and the Void Storm completely demolishes the entire GPC. So that's a huge thing. They took both Nolan and the project they were working at. We still don't know what was that project for, but for them to nuke them out and take it with the head scientist of it, it had to be something very important. But yay, that was the episode. What is your thoughts on it? For me it was a huge W. I'm really excited on what this series will be going for, and cannot wait for more episodes. For now, I will give you a small explanation on what's going on so far on the series. Basically in this world there is something called the Void, and that's where all these purple creatures come from and attack Earth. So the civilians with their guardians and sentinels are the ones protecting the Earth, destroying and fighting whatever comes from these void storms. We have our guardians, like Lance, Rena, and Bob. Sentinels like Seline and another 12, that are more advanced and powerful. And there is something called void hosts, which I still don't know what is their purpose. And we have the company that owns the sentinels, guardians, etc. In short, they are all protecting the Earth against the void. And we also have mysterious characters like the Agent V, which I want to share some theories I have. I have a theory about this Agent V. So far, all we have seen in this character was him spying with some soldiers he got, spying on Seline, and even doing something to her. She even feels it and tries to follow. But he is gone. This character is definitely interested in Seline. I don't know if he is related to her, like if it's her father or someone, because we get to hear about Seline's mother, but the father, we don't hear nothing, so that can be possible. The fact he is purple is also sus. But we know the Virlance's character is always purple, but still can be meant to fit in the plot. And he also has paranormal superpowers like Seline. If he isn't related to her, then my theory is useless. But besides that theory, I wanted to also talk about what exactly is the purpose of the Void Gods, like the Dradian, because he mentions he is the architect of the new world. Maybe they are planning to mix the Void with Earth and make a new world, because he says something like that. The architect of the new world. I still cannot figure out a clean answer to what he means. So my theory is that, cause makes a bit of sense. But why exactly they needed this project that was working Nolan on? And is Nolan really that important? Because the reason they capture Nolan is because he is a smart ass and knows a lot about that project they took over. If I knew that what that project was capable of, I would have many theories. But unfortunately we don't know yet, and I didn't ask Virlance anything because it's a bit too early for any spoilers. Let's wait for more plot, and we should be getting more answers. But so far the plot on this universe is great. The animation, the plot, everything is fire. But yay, that's basically it for this analysis video. This video was supposed to be double the duration. My plans and predictions was 45 minutes to an hour worth of content on me. But I have to admit, this video was a bit rushed. It is because ever since I stopped making videos because of no uploads on the Virlance's channel, I started working on other projects. For example, I recently started to develop a Roblox game I'm currently working at, and have many cool plans for that case. And when I try to do something, I try making it as professional as possible and not a cheap crap. So take a second to think how much time that takes. And that's also not the only thing. I also have Source Filmmaker in the other corner, because soon I am planning and wanting to start learning how to make animations there, and maybe do cool things in the future and learn a lot. And not just that, but I also have many real-life things that keep me busy lately. So think of how many things one human being does at a time. So I hope this clears out on why I may upload late and video rushed a bit, and I apologize about it, but this doesn't mean I'm quitting or I won't upload anymore. Just that uploads are not going to be as fast as before, and views also don't pay up the time I consume in these videos. But that isn't much of a problem, because I have explained a billion times I don't make videos for fame or views. It's for fun and entertainment for y'all. But yes, I wanted to mention all this. I hope y'all understand. This channel has lasted a lot, and we still are a small community, but very supportive. And you have no idea how I appreciate that. But anyways, my final thoughts on Void Storm. It's a huge W. Go subscribe to Virlance for the huge W in the series, and also subscribe to me. Also, if Virlance is watching this, can you tell me, is there a chance we can add an epic Sonar Man character to his series just like in Skibidi Wars in the future? I'd be super honored to be part of this series, and who knows, I alone can beat the entire Void. But yay, let's pray for that. And before I end the video, let me super quick promote this new amazing series from Da Fuck Boom. On his second channel called Door Closer, after Invis took control over the entire Skibidi Toilet series and channel, Boom decided to upload on his second channel owned by him and his friend Powercat. In there he started a series called Human Being. This series is very similar in style to Skibidi Toilet and Half-Life, the old school Boom style. So far the series is great, and every time an episode drops, I feel the same excitement I felt back when Skibidi Toilet was recently started. the small shorts that were so good. Just wait until full screen and longer episodes. It is announced new era will come now in April, and I am extremely loyal to Boom. I will keep supporting this new series of him, and unsubscribe from his old channel since it's no longer his, and I won't support a money-hungry company that ruins lives. So if you want to support Boom, and not the greediest company that ruined a whole era, I suggest you go support this new series and completely unsubscribe from the Skibidi channel and never go back. The only reason I would watch a thing they post is to make fun of their plastic slop shit. But whatever. Anyways, that's all for today. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will link my dead Discord server to the description just in case. See you in the next video.